Hello, 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 beautiful people. Welcome back to Good Morning with me, Misty B. Now, if you notice, I am wearing some earrings that say, embrace your roots. Can you guess what the topic is today? You got it. The topic is all about supporting our businesses. And when I say our businesses, I am referring to Black businesses. Because guess what? If we don't support our own businesses, who else is going to do so? I have a story to tell you guys. I became very, very, very intentional about supporting Black businesses about 10 years ago. And let me tell you why, like the reason why it really, really resonated with me. I was listening to an interview with Miss Tina Lawson, actually, and she was simply saying that the Chinese dollar stays in the Chinese community for about 60 days, and the Jewish dollar stays in the Jewish community for about 30 days. The Black dollar stays in the Black community on average 6 to 7 hours. And guess where there is? That's literally going to beauty salons, barbershops, and things of that nature. So we have to be intentional about supporting our own businesses. With that being said, today's guest, her name is Miss Carol Guest. She is a seasoned attorney, and she is on the board of the Greater Houston Black Chamber of Commerce. Okay, so we are going to talk about supporting our businesses, and we're going to talk about building wealth in our community. We are going to be right back with Miss Guest right after this break.
Move up at Ron Carter Cadillac. Drive the new 2021 Cadillac XT4 Luxury Collection for only $319 a month. The new 2021 Cadillac XT5 Luxury Collection for only $399 a month. Both for 39 months lease with just $1 down. Or purchase either and enjoy 1.9% APR for 60 months plus bonus cash. Gulf Freeway, just 2 minutes south of the Beltway.
Shop smarter when you shop Ron Carter. Ron Carter Cadillac.com.
My prenatal promise is to make sure my baby is safe and healthy, because I know it is possible to acquire syphilis, HIV, or other STDs without knowing it. Getting tested is my very first chance to protect my baby. Doctors are required to give expectant mothers 3 separate tests for syphilis. If you're pregnant, ask your doctor if you're being tested properly for syphilis and other STDs. Congenital syphilis can lead to a miscarriage, stillbirth, or an infant death. Don't risk your baby's health. To find out more, visit myprenatalpromise.com.
Welcome back. As promised, I am here with Carol Guest. How are you?
I'm doing great, Misty.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Well, thank you for having me.
So let's start this conversation off right. Okay, so what is the Greater Houston Black Chamber of Commerce?
The Greater Houston Black Chamber of Commerce is the second oldest African American Chamber of Commerce in the country.
Wow.
Yes, we are 85 years old. We started off in 1935 as the city's first civic organization. We covered business, we covered voting rights, we covered everything that had to do with segregation. We were out there in the streets fighting. And so over the years, our purpose and our focus narrowed to Black businesses. And so what we do is advocate and train African Americans in business. And we also help businesses to grow and sustain themselves. So that's what we're here for. We handle legislation. We look at legislation that has to do with small businesses to make sure our businesses are protected. And we bring awareness to our businesses as well through events such as the Pinnacle Awards, which are coming up on October 23rd. And so we're just here to be here for African American businesses and consumers. We're also advocating on behalf of African American consumers now. So we decided to bring them into our chamber as well in 2019. So we have financial literacy going on for them. So
awesome. Okay. Now I heard that you guys are working on a project called Support Our Success.
Yes,
Supporting Our Success. Supporting Our Success. Thank you.
So the acronym is SOS. And it is it's a good fit because we're here to throw a lifeline to our businesses. And so it has 4 components. financial literacy. There's a cohort about 6 months or so where we have up to 30 businesses get together to network and to learn from each other, to learn from the presenters, all about operations, customer service, human resources. We also have an online program that we're developing that's on demand. So if a business owner doesn't have time to join the cohort or just wants to learn something maybe over a weekend, they can look at a course online, and it covers those same topics from when to hire someone, when to fire someone, should I sell my business, should I franchise? So those are the online programs. Then we have a grant opportunity that we're looking to launch in 2022. And so that's for businesses that get into a pinch. You know, if you need some emergency funding, we want to be here to help. So
your businesses, do they range from startups to 10-year? Like, what kind of businesses are usually a part of the chamber?
Well, most of our businesses have a proven concept, either products or services. So they're in business maybe 2 to 3 years or more. And this program, Supporting Our Success, is here to help them, because sometimes you have a concept and it just takes off. And you think, well, what do I do now? You know, I have all this demand, I don't have enough help. So we're here to come in, fill in that gap, and show you exactly what to do. And if you're a more tenured business, maybe 10 years or more, you need a refresher, you're thinking about restructuring, this program is for those types of business owners as well. So the chamber encompasses businesses at multiple levels of growth.
That's perfect.
However, we really tend to focus on businesses that have a proven product or service.
But that's still good, because I'm thinking about myself. I've started about 6 businesses. Only one has been sustainable.
You're a true entrepreneur.
I am a true entrepreneur. I've been doing this since I was 25, and I am 39 now. But that's good though, because you do hit the 2 to 3 year mark, but you're still kind of startup phase. If you really think about it, right? So you're startup until year 5, I think.
Sometimes businesses can be in that startup phase until then, because you're still figuring things out. You have enough demand that keeps you afloat. But then you're still like, oh, well, what do I do in this instance? What do I do in that instance? And that's where the chamber can come in. Because not only do we have Supporting Our Success, but we also have member development series that talk about legal issues, tax issues, you know, how do I take care of franchise taxes? How do I deal with the IRS? So we have those types of trainings going on all the time. And they are definitely geared toward that business that might be 2 to 5 years in. They're starting to get their legs under them, and they have enough demand to know that, yes, I need to keep doing this.
Look, when can I sign my membership paperwork?
Listen, you can go online anytime on www.ghbcc.com.
No, I'm not joking either. Like, I will really, really be on a website. I know. So COVID.
Yes.
Right? COVID happened to all of us.
Yes, it did.
No one was exempt. Did you guys help businesses, transition during COVID? And any stories you can share of how somebody had to transition and how this area was successful for them as well, or?
Yes. Well, first of all, we as a chamber had to adjust.
True.
We had a ton of in-person events. We had to quickly develop an online presence, and we took a lot of our events on Zoom. So we transitioned that way. As far as help during COVID, we offered lots of training as far as how to do business online. Because a lot of our businesses aren't tech enabled, and no one anticipated having to do business online. We always thought we may have a storefront or something along those lines. So we talked about becoming tech enabled. We did a partnership with the ION, which where we discussed those things, and we talked about entrepreneurship online and who was already in that space doing well. So we assisted our businesses in that way. We also continued our membership development series through a series of programming called Chamber Chats.
Got it.
And so we talked about taxes. We talked about, rules and regulations with regard to how you handle guests and patrons as they come into your business. And so we pivoted in that way.
Yeah.
And we
any
assisted
success stories though? Any business that they can say, wow, I was actually successful during COVID that you know of?
Oh, yes. So we have some members who have restaurants, and they were able to successfully translate their business into curbside. That was one of the best things that ever happened.
Yeah, I can see that
to them.
I can see that because I'm a delivery girl, right? I'm a Uber Eats, but I can see how that would work, right? Because and plus we were ready to get out the house. I was tired of being in the house.
Yes,
I have no problem going to pick up this food. Where is it?
Right,
and curbside.
And that really, really, really helped as far as our businesses that had dine-in and the takeout business. That really assisted them, and it forced some of our members to have to become tech-enabled again to take advantage of their business. But also, we had members to pivot in that space. People who had garment businesses, they were able to produce PPP. So a lot of entrepreneurial successes came out of COVID as well, with hand sanitizer. Garment makers were now making garments for PPE.
Oh, wow.
And I mean, we had all kinds of businesses actually.
It forced you to be creative.
It forced
you
you
had
to be
think
creative.
outside of the box.
Yes, absolutely.
My story, again, like I said, my business, it seemed like it waited until the pandemic to take off. But for me, my story was I was asked to take a food truck and brand it for a celebrity wedding. Okay. But the venue was so nice. It was so posh. Carol, I was like, a food truck doesn't belong here. So I remember I spent one Saturday, like 6 hours, like, what can I do? What can I do? And the idea came to me. Remember when you were in Italy and Greece and you loved all those little bike carts? Honey, I had someone build me a champagne bike cart, and voila.
I love it.
And it's been a hit ever since.
There you go.
So yeah,
exactly.
I understand.
We had a member who started a business just making floral arrangements for Zoom calls.
See? We're going to continue this conversation. And guys, we are going to be right back after this break.
Up at Ron Carter Cadillac with the new 2021 XT6 Luxury Collection with standard third row seating for just $459 a month for 39-month lease with only $1 down. Or purchase and receive 1.9% APR for 60 months plus $2,500 bonus cash. Gulf Freeway just 2 minutes south of the Beltway. Test drive the new 2021 Escalade today at Ron Carter Cadillac.
Smarter when you shop Ron Carter. Ron Carter Cadillac.com.
I'm a part of the Prenatal Care Club now, taking all my STD tests.
Did you know your doctor's required by law to test you 3 times for syphilis and HIV?
Yes, my husband and I are making sure I get all 3 tests.
Good. Testing is the key to preventing congenital syphilis.
And good prenatal care is your first labor of love.
Glad to hear your husband is so involved.
Thank you. Yes, taking all my STD tests for syphilis is important to both of us. My prenatal promise is to prevent a stillbirth or miscarriage. To find out more, visit myprenatalpromise.com.
Welcome back. I am still here with Carol, and we are talking all things about Black businesses. So Carol, before the break, you were sharing with me that you had someone that was a part of the chamber who was making floral arrangements for like weddings and events.
Yes, that's what she was doing
Okay.
prior to pandemic. Once the pandemic hit, she started making floral arrangements for Zoom calls. Right.
We needed them.
We did. And people want, I discovered after talking to members and just people out and about, they want to look good on their Zoom calls.
Absolutely. No one expects to be showing their bedroom or their private area,
Right.
to the people they work with.
Exactly.
I know a lady, she actually had a mobile boutique. Loved her truck, loved everything about it, nice clothing. Nobody was shopping because no one was going anywhere. And so guess what happened? Her business literally took off. And she's here in Houston, but it took off statewide, I'll say that. She started designing people's offices. She had to pivot.
Yes.
And people were they were at home working from home and they wanted their office to look nice for those Zoom calls.
Right.
Or, hey, I got to be in here a lot more than what I'm used to.
Yes.
Now, speaking of that, let's talk about Black Wall Street. You said that you guys were reviving Black Wall Street, right?
Well, we are trying to create Black Wall Street here in Houston.
Okay.
You know, the mission of the chamber is to create wealth in our community. We do that through entrepreneurship and financial literacy for African American consumers and business owners. So, you know, just the concept of generational wealth.
Okay.
Transferring wealth to the next generation, making sure that we're literate enough.
Something that we so need.
Yes, right. To preserve our assets. You know, every year people die without a will. We lose real estate forfeited to the state of Texas because we, you know, never went through an estate planning process. And so what we're seeking to do at the chamber is not only to grow and develop our businesses, but to look at it as an ecosystem. I call it the Black business ecosystem.
Okay.
You know, because it also contains our consumers and businesses, governmental entities, quasi-governmental entities, all working together to uplift the African American community.
Okay.
So yes, that is our version of the Black Wall Street.
So when you say reviving it, is there a certain area of Houston? Is it going to be online? All of the above?
Well, actually, we haven't zoned in on a particular area, but I can say that there are movements afoot in the community of like-minded individuals that want to revive certain areas of the city that have been predominantly Black over the years. I would like to see, like for example, the Emancipation Conservatory. There's a lot of development going on around there. Big push to.
I live over there.
Well, you know what I'm talking about. So El Dorado Ballroom, Project Row Houses, those areas, there are definitely people involved, and the chamber will be involved as well, supporting those efforts.
So tell me what you think about this. I had a conversation with a friend last Saturday, actually, and we love all things Third Ward. So I'm originally from Dallas, Oak Cliff, Texas, right?
Oak Cliff.
But I know. Anyway, but I have been here for 16 years, I think.
Okay.
Love Third Ward, love everything about it. But my friend, he was saying, we should just stop focusing so much on Third Ward and build Black Wall Street, Fresno, Spring, Humble. And I was like, that is a very, very valid point. What do you think about that?
I think Black Wall Streets can be anywhere.
Everywhere. Do you hear me?
Why not? Why not?
Why not?
I mean, we need, when we talk about our community, it's our community.
Absolutely.
It's all of us, no matter where we are.
Absolutely.
So I'm all for it.
I'm for it too, and I'm thinking like it will help in so many different ways, right? One thing I definitely love about Houston is that you don't have to go far wherever you live to have fun. Right. But our culture comes to Third Ward to have fun.
That's
right?
true.
I love Third Ward, but I'm tired sometimes. I don't want to see all these people.
And you want to drive down the street.
I want to drive down the street. Yeah. But seriously, if we had that same thing, if we had that same energy in Spring, in Humble, in Fresno, what would that look like? That would be thriving like crazy.
Well, you know what? And it brings up a great point. You bring up a great point, and I do believe that it would thrive. We have a Missouri City branch. And at some point, we are looking to expand in those areas that you discussed. You know, for example, we have our Missouri City branches having a Juneteenth event. And so why not?
Why not?
Why not have those areas thriving? And our chamber would be an excellent resource to help get it started.
Carol, I'm going to hold you to this. Okay,
You can hold me to it.
And I'm going to ask you, how can I help?
Okay.
Because I want to see
you.
I'm very serious.
Thank you.
I'm not going to hold you to it without doing my part. That's not fair.
A woman after my own heart. Thank you
now
so
let's
much.
talk about that. How can people do their part with the chamber?
Well, first of all, we invite you to membership.
Okay.
Membership is what drives our programming.
Okay.
And so we're a nonprofit organization, so we need all the support we can get. Anyone can support us through sponsorships, through membership, and then volunteering when we have events.
Okay.
We haven't had many in-person events because of COVID. We are looking at starting that up again, but we can. I think the best way to help us is through donations. We have a chamber foundation, Greater Houston Black Chamber Foundation, where write-offs can be made as far as the foundation and taxes are concerned. But your membership is what's really most important, because the numbers matter, especially when we go to advocate on the state, local, and national level for Black businesses from a legislative perspective. And numbers matter.
Absolutely. And I know you said you guys were working with consumers now as well. So how can they get help with the chamber? Is that volunteerism or volunteering?
Yes. Volunteering is the main thing right now
Okay.
with African American consumers. And as we continue to develop that relationship, we want to hear
Okay.
from our consumers also. What things are on your mind?
Now that's really big because
Yes.
people, they want to have a voice.
Yes.
And you guys are opening up a platform and a place
Absolutely.
for them to have a voice.
Absolutely.
What are some of the things the consumers have said before that have really impacted the chamber?
Well, one of the things that we definitely take to heart is to make, and this is part of the reason why we created the SOS program. You know, our consumers would just want to make sure that our businesses stick around. You know, they love seeing their favorite store somewhere, and then all of a sudden, without warning, it's closed.
Right.
And you know, by and large, our members are doing well. Most of our members received PPP. They're still open, thank God. It has been a struggle, but a lot of them are still open. So we've heard that they want to see us have continuity
Okay.
as far as our businesses staying open. There are some operational things that I think our businesses can improve on.
Okay.
Not a ton of them, but we want to make sure that their experiences
Absolutely,
with us
because it's all about
are-
the experience.
Exactly.
And you know what? Our time is up, but I want to thank you so much for coming in here. Hold me to my word. I will come and volunteer.
Okay,
I promise
Misty.
you that. I'm not joking. I'm dead serious. Thank you so much. We are going to be right back, guys, right after this break.
Move up at Ron Carter Cadillac. Drive the new 2021 Cadillac XT4 Luxury Collection for only $319 a month. The new 2021 Cadillac XT5 Luxury Collection for only $399 a month. Both for 39 months lease with just $1 down. Or purchase either and enjoy 1.9% APR for 60 months plus bonus cash. Gulf Freeway, just 2 minutes south of the Beltway.
Shop smarter when you shop Ron Carter. Ron Carter, Cadillac.com.
My prenatal promise is to make sure my baby is safe and healthy. Because I know it is possible to acquire syphilis, HIV, or other STDs without knowing it. Getting tested is my very first chance to protect my baby. Doctors are required to give expectant mothers 3 separate tests for syphilis. If you're pregnant, ask your doctor if you're being tested properly for syphilis and other STDs. Congenital syphilis can lead to a miscarriage, stillbirth, or an infant death. Don't risk your baby's health. To find out more, visit myprenatalpromise.com.
Welcome back. I am so grateful for Carol's information. That was really, really good. And as a business owner myself, these are tools that we need in our community. So make sure that you check out the Greater Houston Black Chamber of Commerce if you are in business. And again, she said that the proof of concept has to already be proven. That means you're not necessarily trying to create something. You've already created it, business is running, but you may need some help. Make sure you check them out. Now, since we talked about Black businesses today, do you realize how those businesses had to get their start by dreaming out loud? And I'm going somewhere with this, and I'm about to fuss at our community for a second. But guess what? I promised you guys real, authentic conversations on the very first episode, and I'm a woman of my word, or I do my best to be so anyway. Guys, one of the things that I'm hearing a lot, or I see a lot on social media is, oh, I tried to support a Black business, but they gave me bad customer service this one day. So listen, that has happened to me before, okay? I am a business owner, but it has happened to me as a consumer. I'm saying that to say, if that happens to you, this is what I encourage you to do. Instead of running to social media and complaining about it, especially if you haven't given praise for all of the times you have had great service from a Black business, I encourage you to pull the business owner to the side, share your experience with them, and let them know. That way, you're giving them an opportunity to correct it or to perhaps talk to their staff member or whoever it may be. So before running to social media, before complaining, pull that person to the side and have an authentic conversation with them. Because why would we just stop supporting someone because of one bad experience if we had 4 or 5 great experiences? Again, I've experienced the same thing. I literally, a coffee shop that I absolutely love, I had a very, very not so good experience. It was crazy because I had already had amazing experiences with them. But the first time I took a client to this coffee shop, because I bragged on a particular food item that they had, horrible experience. But instead of just being frustrated, I came back the next day and I shared my thoughts with the owner of the coffee shop. And guess what? She changed things. So please allow these people who have dreamed out loud, okay, or have dreamt out loud, to have a moment to correct themselves. Because guess what? And usually as a Black business, we always say this as business owners, we feel like we have no room for error. We feel like we have to be perfect all day long. And guess what? We're human too, and we're gonna make mistakes too, but please allow us to correct them. So if you are a Black business owner and I want to talk to someone who has something exceptional, something phenomenal that no one else has, please contact us and email us at info@americanstartv.com, and make sure that you're following us too on Instagram at American Star TV. I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Bye bye.